In this video, we're going to be looking at no sé or no lo sé. Do you know how to use these? Let's find out. Hola a todos y bienvenidos a Coffee Break Spanish. Yo soy Mark.
Y yo soy Marina.
And as I said, in this video, we're going to be answering a question from Iris. Iris got in touch and asked, when do you use no sé and when do you use no lo sé? Now, Marina, they both mean I don't know, but they are used in slightly different situations. Can you help us with this question?
Yeah, of course. The first thing we need to know is when we shouldn't be using no lo sé.
Okay, so let's start from that point. When must we not use no lo sé?
So maybe if we're asked, ¿sabes nadar?
Okay, so ¿sabes nadar? Do you know how to swim? Can you swim? In that situation, what would we answer if we didn't know how to swim?
Then we would say, no sé.
Okay, so the first no means no, and then the second no is I don't know. So we've got no sé, no sé. But we can't say no lo sé there because the lo isn't referring to anything. I don't know it. What?
That's it, because you're not like, you don't know how to swim, but it's not a thing that you know or an information that you don't know.
Yeah, if you responded no lo sé, you would actually be saying, I don't know if I know how to swim or not. Kind of thing.
That's it. It's like, who knows if I know how to swim or not?
Exactly. Let's look at another example.
If we are asked, ¿hablas italiano?
Okay, so do you speak Italian? ¿Hablas italiano?
No
so
sé.
The answer would be no sé or no sé. So we don't even need that no. But again, there, if we said no lo sé, it means that you don't know if you know how to speak Italian.
That's it. And we know that this no sé is like trying to make shorter the sentence no sé hablar italiano.
Exactly. So no sé nadar in this case, or here no sé hablar italiano. Muy bien. Italiano. Oh. Can't fit it in there. Okay, so let's continue on then. When are there situations when we must use or we can use no lo sé?
Okay, there are some situations in which we can change and we can use either one or the other, but it would be common to use no lo sé.
Okay.
So, for example, if we had, ¿sabes lo que ha pasado esta mañana?
Okay, so ¿sabes lo que ha pasado? Do you know what happened esta mañana? So, do you know what happened this morning? And in that
we could say,
what could we say?
No lo sé.
Okay, so there we could say no lo sé because the lo is referring to lo que ha pasado esta mañana.
And we could also say no sé.
Okay, so no sé, meaning no sé lo que ha pasado esta mañana.
That's it.
So give us another example here.
¿Sabes cuál es el plan para hoy?
Okay, ¿sabes cuál es el plan para hoy? So do you know what the plan is for today? And what would we answer there?
No lo sé.
Okay, so I don't know it. No lo sé. And again, lo is referring to cuál es el plan para hoy.
And we could say no sé.
Okay, so we've also got that option there. No sé. So one thing that's really important is that we know that we can't say no lo sé lo que ha pasado esta mañana. Or no lo sé cuál es el pan para hoy. That doesn't make sense.
That's it, because we are like repeating that lo would be used to avoid repeating lo que ha pasado esta mañana. So if we say no lo sé lo que ha pasado esta mañana, we are going to be repeating the same thing twice.
Okay, so let's just go through all of these questions again. Marina, can you ask me the questions and I'll give you the answers?
Yeah, of course. ¿Sabes nadar?
No, no sé. Or no, no sé nadar.
Ujú. ¿Hablas italiano?
No sé. No sé hablar italiano.
¿Sabes lo que ha pasado esta mañana?
No lo sé. Or no, no sé.
Muy bien. ¿Sabes cuál es el plan para hoy?
No lo sé. Or no, no sé. I don't know a lot by the sounds of things. However, what I do know is when to use no sé and no lo sé now that we've gone through this. And Iris, we hope that you now know when to use no sé and when to use no lo sé, and the fact that sometimes you've got the option of both. Now, if you have a question like Iris, then you can get in touch with us. You can head over to coffeebreakquestions.com and leave your question there, and we'll do our best to include your question in a future episode of the show. Now, if you've enjoyed this, then make sure you give it a like and make sure you also subscribe to our channel, and that way you will get more help with your Spanish with the videos that we publish. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon that appears to be notified when we post new videos.
And remember that we love to read your comments, so you can go ahead and give it a try, and you can write your own question with the answer using no sé or no lo sé.
Perfecto. Pues muchas gracias, Iris, for the question. Thank you, Marina, and we'll be back soon with more Coffee Break Spanish.
Hasta pronto.